Okay, so I started recording, doing my live, but then the network didn't work, so we've resorted to our famous recording and mic. I was talking about feedback, and this week's edition of Navigating Your Early Career Days. And my name is SeunBDsCorner. You're welcome. All right, so I was talking about how do you handle feedback. You always want feedback, but are you ready to handle it? And then I was sharing an experience. I was sharing the fact that yes, without feedback, it is very hard for you to actually know where you are and where you need to be. It is very, very important. And then I was sharing my experience earlier about how of course, I usually have my current boss usually wants us to always get feedback. Always want us to arrange a one-on-one on her with her, just to make sure that she gets feedback and gets more insight into what we're doing. For myself and her, because we also have we have a friendship along. We have a very good. We are friends. So there is always that bickering and constant conversation. But one of the things that we also find out is because we talk about a lot of things. Sometimes my actual responsibility and roles are usually missing in conversations. So to be able for us to be able to sit down and have a proper conversation as to where am I and how am I getting from point A to point B or to point Z, it's very important that we have a one-on-one. So I was saying that I had my one-on-one this week. It was great. It wasn't new. And if you've always joined this session, you know that I've always said in the past, I'm my biggest critic. I know what I usually self-evaluate myself a lot, and I don't know. It's not trauma. It's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. I like it. It's good for me because whatever anyone is telling me is really not new. It's just almost like a reaffirmation to me that I need to sort it out and I need to fix up. Right. So the feedback is still the same, and it's somewhere where I struggle. And right now I'm actually taking it seriously because I think that, and it's something that my dad is. I'm not as worse as my dad yet, and I think that if I don't fix up now, I can see myself going down that path. So I need to fix up. I love my dad, but that trait of him is not what I want. I don't want that. That's not the one that I want. There are other good parts of him that I want. It's not that one that I want. So it was around, prioritization and time management. I struggle. And it's usually like 1 minute when I think I get it, and I've gotten this routine. I'm used to it. Something just happens. Either my nanny, I need to get rid of the nanny, or nanny is not working for me, or nanny wants to leave, or one of my supports anyway. We just there's something that has to happen, and then it just messes up my whole schedule, and it shakes me up a bit, or maybe something changes at work, or there's a new target, or there's something, and then it just shifts and it just derails me. So I think that is why I struggle. But what I've decided to do, at least for the next 30 to 60 days, is to actually start listening and watching, and probably looking for books around prioritization and time management, because it's really key for me. I thought I was good at it, and I think I don't think I think I'm struggling. So if you have any tips, please holla. Anyway, so one of the things that I was saying was, yes, so it is, how do you handle feedback? Because again, I've said it over and over again. So if you don't get feedback constantly or regularly, you're going to over evaluate yourself and think you're so great, and then you're going to get carried away with the fact that everyone is telling you thumbs up, oh you're great, oh you're friend, oh great job. But they might just be telling you great job based on results, but in between the details, you might still need some guidance and some polishing as well. So it's very important that you don't feel like because you are acting so much, in terms of you're doing so much action, you are doing well. You might not be. Yes, you might not be. So you might think, oh, but I'm bringing in the numbers. You might be bringing in the numbers, but you might not be so detailed. You might not even be in line. Like, I can't even share this one. You might not even be in line with a lot of things, and then you actually just feel like because you're getting people, you're getting the numbers, you're doing this, everybody's saying you're so hot, look at you, check you out, yeah, you forget yourself, and then your guys just looking at you and just like okay, all right though. But they even have a lot of feedback, and because you get carried away in the fact that everyone is praising you, you now don't end up wanting to ask for feedback. You must always ask for feedback are not always going to be great. I remember, I think I've shared this before, that I remember there was a time when if one of the feedback that I got was, so I'm not good at writing. If you've ever worked with me, and it's something that I'm actually not good, because most of the time I write the way I talk, and because I want to write very fast, and it is not even an acceptable excuse. I've even gotten better. I tell you that for a fact. Because one time, just less than 15 years ago, 13 years ago, someone asked me to go and get brighter grammar. I can never forget. I didn't get angry. I can't get angry at this thing. And then the ministry, the church that I attend, my pastor always tells us that we shouldn't, those are the things that you get angry at. They give you bad feedback, you take it with stride, and you go and work on it. That's what my pastor teaches us. It's nothing toxic. I don't know what this my generation alpha. I know what you guys are thinking, but something toxic. They're just giving you feedback. Go and fix it, right? And I went ahead to get it. And this was even before AI. Now there's even now AI too, so you don't even have an excuse, right? And I remember, and like, I don't know. It's not funny. It's not a bad thing, but I think it's just me being vulnerable anyway and just being honest, because sometimes we all act like everything is all so great. And one of my colleagues was saying to me that, do you know that one time you sent me a message and I could not tell what you were saying. I had to just ask AI, like, please, what is Sharon trying to say? I was so embarrassed, but I was laughing. I was like, why didn't you just tell me? And I'm like, you know what, just stick to your voice notes. And the reason again is because, so if I was speaking to someone very senior, I would read the message like 25,000 times before I send it, because I know that's my weakness. But if I'm with my colleague, I don't know if I'm like, please just read the message and you figure it out. Like, if you don't understand it when you see me or you call me. But yeah, so it's gotten better, because I remember there was a time when someone asked me to go and buy bicycle, and I was like, me. But anyway, so there's some feedback that would hurt, right? There's some feedback that will make you feel, what do you mean? How dare you? In fact, less than 5 years ago, or less than 5 years ago, yeah, a change in management at a certain place that I was working at the time. This person came in, and this person did not even take time, and we're going to talk about this soon. We're going to talk about this in another episode, another week. It's one I know I lined it up as one of the topics, and this person actually sat me down. This person has worked in some very big names, like, I won't say big four, I won't say top 4 tech, I'll probably say top 10. This person actually sat me down and said to me, oh god, I hope I'm not offended, because I don't know, I'm struggling to say this. God, please, I'm not offended though. I've forgiven this person, have I not? I believe I have. But anyway, so this person says to me, you still need to, I still need to work. This is me with, at least at that time, I had like a good 15 years experience, working experience, right? And this person said, in fact, more than 15 years working experience. I'll probably say, yeah, more than 15 years working experience actually. And this person said to me, I still need to work with you about 5 years for me to be able to, I still need to work with you very closely for me to be able to, understand where you, to understand where to position you. I'm like, okay, all right. And I just want to say my CV. Like, maybe because you're new and you're not sure, like, I'm happy to share my CV with you, like, and all of that. And I think it was from, can I share my CV with you? And I got that vibe that this person wasn't actually interested in me. So, and what that did for me was that just allowed me to know that, okay, you know what, it's actually time to either change department or move out. So that's why I said this is also a topic. So you always need to have the spirit of discernment. So what I did was, it didn't stop me from working. It didn't affect my morale. I would still deliver. I will go for a meeting where I in meetings where I used to actually strategically contribute. Like I would be contributing. She would ask me to take a meeting notes and just be like, oh, just take making notes, or just make a minute, oh, just jot that down, please, Shion. I'll take it, jot it down, type it in 1 hour, send it to her. It was painful, but I did it. I deviated in this topic, but my point is sometimes. So that feedback for me was quite painful because I was like, well, like you don't even know me. Like, do you know what I do? Do you know how many numbers? Do you know? I even did my brag sheet for a voice note. So what that did for me was that feedback hurt because again this person was not willing to open the door for me, but then I wasn't offended. I don't think I was not offended actually. I think it was just like I was just like the only feedback, I think the only thing that maybe might be still be paining me, which I think it is because I'm trying to see why I'm stuttering in speaking about it, and that's always a sign for me that oh, there should be pain somewhere. But I just felt you could have just taken your time to know me. You didn't take your time to know me. You don't even know me. Like why you don't even check my CV, so you don't even know. And I went to start following her on LinkedIn. So I check my profile. We'll sample sample me. But my point is I never allowed it to reflect on my work. I just took it that this person doesn't know me, so it's fine. Let me just do what I need to do. Like you about say this thing. I just was one that buckled up. I didn't fight. I didn't kick. I didn't make a fuss. I just carried on my work. I just continued to make sure I was delivering whatever it was that she was giving me. I was doing it excellently well. Now, when you are ready to get feedback, you need to be very open-minded that sometimes the feedback might not even what you might be looking or what you might be thinking, what you might be looking at, or what you think you're seeing will be different from the feedback that you would get. There's always that possibility, and you must be ready for it. Most of the time, I've heard a lot of even my mentees and people that that I may have worked with in the past or that I work with now. I don't know, I've worked with a lot of people in my life. So and then you hear them saying things like, "Oh, I deserve this amount. I deserve that amount," and I'm like, okay. Did I not just correct your spreadsheet the other day? Did I not just fix your email? Did you not just mess up a campaign? Did you not just mess up a budget, or did you not just mess up a process and whatever? And you're saying you are demanding what 700k, 500k, like she needs to go and get polished. So sometimes that is why it is very important to always get feedback. And then one of the things that I also you need to be honest with yourself is, am I wanting a feedback because I want someone to praise me, or do I want feedback because I want someone to actually sit me down and tell me the honest truth about where I need to fix up, right? So you need to be sure, and then you need to also just check temperature as well. If you've just annoyed your boss last week, don't be asking for feedback this week because that feedback can be a biased one, right? It might just be that that person is just obviously too upset with what you've done recently and is just not like whatever it is that you have done great in the past whatever years that you lived on this earth is not going to come out. So you need to just make sure that you're also setting the right tempo and making sure you're asking for the feedback at the right time. The second thing as well is make sure you have actions with your feedback. So like I said, when I was told to go and get brighter grammar, I were actually going to buy brighter grammar because I wanted to make sure that I buy that brighter grammar. I read it. I even look for the PDF copy. I'm sure I have it somewhere in my G drive. I downloaded it. But because I must learn. Like I want to learn. That's the only way you get better. You only get better from learning, and you only get better from asking people that are better than you and people that have gone ahead of you in the experience, right? And then also the action, like what I said, what I mentioned earlier, what the explanation I mentioned earlier about my own recent scenario. I mean, it's not new, it's something I'm working on, but I think I need to actually take it seriously now. I've decided that for the next 30 to 60 days I'm actually going to look for books, and most of the things that I'm going to listen about on YouTube while I'm listening to my sermons and my messages would be around prioritization and time management, because it's very, very key. The third thing as well is, how often do you ask for feedback? So like I said, my own manager likes to give you likes one-on-one, and our one-on-one usually is not because she wants to give you feedback, it's usually because she also wants to get feedback, like how you feeling, I know the pressure is a lot, whatever, and just do that kumbaya moments, right? How often should you be asking for feedback? So depending on the organization you work with, how often do you get set? How often do they set targets for you? How often do you do your appraisal? Because one of the things in that I usually that has happened to me a couple of times as well is you don't always want to wait to your appraisal to be surprised at your own surprise where they are telling you about yourself, like how. So you need to also make sure, so you need to know when are the appraisal periods in your organization, so that at least a month or 2 months before that period you have gotten your unofficial feedback from your boss and your team lead, and then you already have a plan and they can see that you're actually working towards it and you're getting better. What number four, because I'm going to end up in a minute now. Number four, you asking for feedback also shows that you're responsible. You are interested in your growth, in your own career development, and also in your own growth in the organization, because of course if the feedback that they'll be giving you should be based on your work, not your personal life. It shouldn't be a personal life. It should just be based on your work. But then when your personal life starts to affect your work, then yes, that might rub off. When you should also when then so yeah, that you should make sure that you're asking for feedback around, before appraisal period. Then just to wrap that up as well, is making sure you set clear actions on that particular feedback. So you've been told this, you've been told that. What are you doing? What are you going to do about it? Are you just going to sit down on it and just be like, you know what, I beg, please, like, what God cannot do does not exist, or whatever it is, like, oh, it's gonna get better, no, this person is just lying or whatever. No, you need to do, even if it's just to research, like dedicate 1 week, even if you feel like maybe it's a vindictive it's come from vindictive way, whatever, okay, do a research about it so that you can also understand exactly what it is that you need to do and how you need to do it. Don't just ignore it and let it fly over yourself. Okay, like I said, feedback, how do you handle it and what do you do better? That is really what we're doing I'm talking about this week. And I do hope that you have some actionable points. I do hope that you'll be able to learn from some of my experience that I shared. And I do hope that you go walking away asking for feedback, even from your parents, even from your kids, even from your friends, even from people that you are in business with, if you're business owner, even from your clients. Have I been serving you? How have you found my quality? Would you recommend me? Have you recommended me? Like, what do you think? Rate me. You need those feedback because it would help. All right, I hope this helped, and I do hope you'll be sharing. I do hope you'll be liking, and I do hope you'll be dropping a comment somewhere in the section and letting me know if this was something that you needed, and if it's something that was helpful, and if this has helped you to get a tougher skin in getting feedback as well. My name is SeunBDsCorner, and this is Navigating Your Early Years in Career. Please share, please like. Every Wednesday, almost 9 a.m. That's the name we're giving it now. No more 8:45. Almost 9 a.m. And I do hope this has really blessed you, and this will help you as well.